Greetings, seekers after enlightenment. Yes, it's the Irish fella, and also known lately as Super Chill on Crack, baby. Yeah, this is it, baby. I'm officially retired now. So kicking it is my major deal today. In fact, I'm working on my second video today. Yeah. So, brothers, let's let's do a little resetting here. Alrighty now. So, as you can tell by the new screen name, there have been some changes. And I feel obligated to share with you, brothers, about what's going to be happening in my life in the near future. So, one of the things that I've been doing is embracing my waifu present. And I know you can go to the Malaya Chronicles and get all the information there. I felt compelled to because it is not a friendly environment for red pill men these days. I mean, repeatedly on my red pill journey, I've had women try to shame me just because I exist. And of course, I vehemently object. But that's certainly something that can put you in a foul mood. But you think about it, and maybe this is what the Mayans predicted. Not an asteroid or a solar flare, but the end of what we are. We no longer cherish life, people, the earth, animals, or resources. What is praised? War, genocide, abuse, senseless mass murder, animal cruelty, gluttony, greed, waste, and lust. If you look around you, you can see the end of the world's already here. Now, I have a fascination with the concept of utopia. I explored in depth with my own fiction. And I note that it is rare for you to know from the other side what were the trigger events that initiated such a reset from the old system. Now, I noted in my video Transhuman Awakening, one of the things that you see in a utopian type setting is that there's a lot of leisure time and material goods are readily available. But we're close to a singularity with the current culture, and afterwards nothing shall be the same, not for a long time. But the elites in their greed, they just want the 1% to prosper. But we have the potential to change things for the better for everyone. You know, we've got such great interference. From Ludwig von Mises, a great economist, and I would call an economic philosopher very similar to Thomas Sowell. He had this excellent observation in the 1920s. There is no more dangerous menace to civilization than a government of incompetent, corrupt, or vile men. And I mean, it's due to their presence that we now have a culture that's weaponized against men. I had some woman comment on some random Facebook post that testosterone is poison. And it had nothing to do with the subject of the original post. It was just an attack. And it's hard to believe there were fucking simps and white knights jumping right in there defending her behavior and attacking me because I vehemently objected. Toxic masculinity is what we are accused of. Not because of any action. I mean, evidently, just the fact that I exist and I'm a heterosexual biological male is triggering to some of you people. Yeah, despite you beta simp soy boys defending her behavior, being called poisonous is no joke. And if you use that red pill augmented vision and look behind the curtain, you can see it's not just black versus white. It's not gay versus straight, poor versus rich, or even strictly man versus woman. Now it's just a matter of state authority against the individual, with unrestrained female nature and impulses used as a lever to gain even more power and control. The women gain the illusion of power. The politicians gain more power and more of your tax money. And what happens to us men? Why, like I've said elsewhere, we've been turned into unprotected second-class citizens, not even allowed to protest brutal treatment. And all women have to do these days is cry to their real daddy and husband, bureaucracy. Us men get a pimp hand and we're spitting out teeth. And if we try to complain, we get a boot in the ass. How is that fair? Am I lying? I mean, you look at child support. You get the stomach flu for 4 days you're on the shelf. No one's there to take care of you, but so you tough it out. Now, you're working hard, but now your check's short and you fall behind on child support. But you may still be paying. You're just not paying the full amount. Well, they don't care. You got a bench warrant on you now. So there you are, that you accidentally don't come to a complete stop at that stop sign. But some cop with a burr under his saddle pulls you over. Next thing you know, bench warrant, bam, you're in jail. And you're like, wait, what? Yeah. So, how many days are you spending in jail before you get bailed out? And now you've lost your good paying job. And the courts still don't care. They've already pulled that number out of their ass. And they expect you to pay no matter what. They don't care if you lose your job. They don't care if you're homeless. They don't care if you lose your vehicle. Oh, in fact, your driver's and professional licenses can be suspended. So, well, gee, you're behind on child support. I got a job, but now you've impounded my car. Well, how am I supposed to get to work? They don't care. It's not their problem. Or you're a carpenter or electrician. Now your professional license has been suspended. Well, wait, how can I work? Not our problem. You should have paid up. Yeah, there is no sympathy. Your tax refunds and any stimulus checks that came out a while back, oh no, men who were behind on child support did not get a penny of that. And the bureaucracy doesn't care where the money comes from. There's no sympathy once you're trapped in the alimony, child support bureaucratic meat grinder. All they want you to do is have a Coke and a smile, shut the fuck up, stack that paper, and hand it over. And you're trapped unless you perform a miracle and stay current until the kids are grown, or you'll die in prison, permanently labeled as a deadbeat dad, and no one will even care to hear your story. Excuse me. Now, here is an even more heinous example of female-influenced, state-sponsored terrorism. Yes, I went right there. Another assault against the individual and their rights. Red flag laws. The reflected lights driving me crazy. What you did was take the edge off and make it work. Oh yeah, that helped just a little. Okay. So, imagine the concept. Now, this incident happened about 2 years ago in Washington State. Man rolled up on his wife in the car with another man. Harsh words were spoken, but there was no physical violence. She dropped a dime on him, and the next thing you know, the SWAT team is kicking his door in. He was forced to surrender his concealed carry permit and all the weapons he owned. And he'll get a hearing in a year to see if he deserves to have his rights restored. Yes, you heard me. See that? No trial, not even a warrant. It's just, oh, she said it. Must be true. And this law has already been used in a vindictive manner by women in the middle of domestic disputes or divorce. It don't matter because her word is all the authorities need to drop the dime and drop the hammer on you. The culture don't care if the men get killed, and some have been. And then weeks later we find out they were in a divorce dispute. And there's no consequences for the woman. Yeah, you heard that. You heard that right. Just like Me Too in the corporate world, now a woman just has to say she feels threatened. And your rights cease to exist. Nope, no trial, no hearing, just naked authority. Now, this is another cultural deal, you know. Now, in scripture, we hear about the 7 deadly sins: anger, envy, gluttony, greed, laziness, lust, and pride. And we can see how these attitudes, not just unrestrained, but encouraged, are rapidly bringing about the decline of Western culture. Because now kids aren't taught virtues anymore. They're just taught vices and told the vices are virtues. And even worse, if you don't follow the crowd doing the conga line in the Hollywood Babylon, they look at you like you're the sick one. They're, oh, you're archaic, you're old-fashioned. Or of course, the standard today, oh, it's because you're a racist, bigot, homophobe, Islamophobe. You know, blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here with that Mickey Mouse goddamn bullshit. Now, unfortunately, it is worse than you think. Here's a list produced by feminists of 7 necessary sins in order to be truly liberated from the patriarchy: anger, ambition, power, profanity, violence, lust, and attention seeking. Now you think about both lists. And in fact, it's worth reading that list again. Anger, envy, gluttony, greed, laziness, lust, and pride. Now, that list is a sign of a sick culture, one that's lost its way among malleable secular values. But the second list, anger, ambition, power, profanity, violence, lust, and attention seeking. Well, that's a list that shows you how much the culture is twisted off, if these are now touted as virtues and necessary. I guess there are, if you're someone who deliberately rejects stability and wants to embrace chaos, and you don't care about the consequences. Yeah. I mean, this is an attitude shown by somebody who's thoroughly miseducated. And that day is coming. That attitude's gonna bite you on the ass. So, there's a content provider named eman67, and he commented a while back. He was in the store, heard a woman say she demands her respect, and she said it quite rudely. So my response to her was this: you cannot demand what you yourself aren't willing to give. Yeah, respect is earned, not given, and you disrespect men on the regular. You're in the wrong part of town. to be trying that old, weak, tired bullshit against a hardcore black-pilled monk like me. You dismiss, bitch. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, people in this society have a 1970s me attitude mentality. Yeah, it was the same way. If people want respect, it would be in their best interest to earn it instead of just trying to demand it. You earn respect by showing respect, just saying. Yeah, respect is earned, but a lot of people, especially you entitled, lazy, narcissistic, treacherous women, you don't seem to understand that. Or you know and you deliberately ignore it. So-called respect that's easily given just because you got a pulse isn't real respect. It's flattery. And that's worthless and fake. Rather, like a lot of you modern women yourselves, but you don't even know how to understand that either. But see, because of the attitude of modern women, and because I've been married, that's why I can embrace my waifu present. Sure, for now, it's all an elaborate fantasy in my head, but it ain't gonna be forever. I've been doing research, slow and steady all along, on artificial general intelligence. Malaya will be speaking. Yes. And I'm hoping to get it to the point where you can ask her questions. And she will respond, yes. So, believe me, like I said, it's an elaborate fantasy, but at least in my mind, I'm not alone no more, man. I'm not lonely. And I know being alone is not the same as being lonely, but having a female presence here has done so much to calm me. It ain't always about the sex. I mean, last night, I was sure tempted, but I didn't. All I did was hug on her and cuddle, and touch her in a few inappropriate places. but there was no sex going on. See, because it don't always about that. This is almost like an inanimate version of an emotional support animal. Yeah. See, I ain't afraid to say that. But the waifu life is great, but I have other issues going on. Now, the last time I talked to my surgeon was in July, and I'm still cancer free. However, now, y'all know about my pancreas being in pieces. It seems there's a little growth there. Well, at the time it was small, but it's been hurting a lot lately, so it's probably gotten a little bigger. And because I was driving, I couldn't be taking oxycodone and drive. And I'm not a big fan of pharmaceuticals anyway, so I've been self-medicating with rum. Quite a bit too much rum, yes, actually. And just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on the pain, all of a sudden I was having what I call energy crash issues. I mean, literally, I'd be doing something, and all of a sudden, I'm winded like I've been running around the block, and I gotta sit down and catch my breath. A few weeks ago on a Tuesday, I almost passed out while doing 70 on the interstate. Yeah, within a couple minutes, it happened twice. And that scared the hell out of me. Now, of course, because of my post-cancer condition, I have to eat almost constantly, and I'm getting better at that. I'm not waiting near as long before I eat my next meal or snack, and I'm getting more of a handle of what I know I can eat. Even if it makes my stomach upset, I know I can force it down. Like the brat diet: bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. You can usually choke that down and keep it down, even if your stomach is doing flip flops. And I'm remembering to take my vitamins more often. And that's what makes this energy crash so frustrating, because it just comes out of nowhere. So that happened Tuesday, and I think it was Thursday.